Welcome back, folks, to another rebuild, and we're going from one Premiership club that are in trouble that I did a couple of weeks ago to another one that are in dire straits. So as of time of recording, Southampton, after 10 games, winning just one, and that's of late, coming against Everton after surviving a last-minute scare as well, which would have wiped them 3 points off the board. And as you can see, they're entangled with Ipswich, Wolves, who haven't won a game. Ipswich haven't won a game. Crystal Palace are down there as well. Everton are just outside the relegation zone. And as you can see, the rebuild we did with Manchester United, if you haven't checked that one out, please do so. We are using the Amorim tactic. 3 at the back. I'm not a fan of it, but by gum, that did work. We are going to be concentrating on Southampton. They are now enjoying a 13-year barren spell, probably 14 years now, since we are doing the next season. Their FA Cup victory coming in 1976. They had the League One in 60, the Bristol Street Motors in 2010, and Southern League, and of course the English Third Division South as well. So only one major trophy coming in the form of the FA Cup, of which we are going to have to remedy. And first of all is get this team playing up into the top 10, and hopefully by the end of this rebuild we will be safely a top 10 team and possibly a European team as well. What looks like their favoured formation with their best 11, with Ramsdale in goal and Walker-Peters on the left hand side and Lallana in the middle. Wow, didn't know he was still playing. Quite a lot of loan obligations. And the club's vision by the director: do not sign players over the age of 28. Well, that's quite specific. I've never seen that. Normally it's over 30, but 28, that's very specific. Play tempo pressing football, develop players using the youth system, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Okay, so don't sign players over the age of 28, but you want us to sign players under 23. Make your mind up and sign players under the age of 19 for the future. Sign players for profit, the usual. Avoid relegation, record a top half finish by the following season, maintain a top half finish. That is it. Well, we're going to try and go one better than that, I feel. As we have an updated database that we are using from the fmscout.com website, I think you can find it also on the Sort It Out SI website as well, the 24 to 25 update. So all the transfers, etc., have been done, and the first season we have disabled the first transfer window because of this. But they have got nearly 50 million in the bank. Quite a high wage budget as well. I suppose for the Premiership it's not too bad. £85 million debt. Okay, hopefully we'll get rid of that. It looks like it's going to be going by the end of 2025. So that'll be quite nice. And squad-wise, let's have a quick look. Let's go by oldest players first. There's quite a few players 30 and over. I think there's 7 players there. Lallana being one of the better ones. He's 36 years old. Wow, he's worth a few bob as well, actually, to be honest. We've got Alex McCarthy, goalkeeper. Ben Reeves. We've got Charlie Taylor. Jack Stevens, who isn't too bad. His stats aren't going down just yet, but they more than likely will do. And Ryan Fraser. Again, not a bad player inside forward. And also Anuachu. Again, not a bad looking player either. Let's have a look at the other end of the spectrum. We've got 2 17-year-olds. Sam, he's got high potential actually, which is looking not that bad actually. Probably not enough for the first team. We'll have to send him out on loan, I guess. Reasonably quick though. Charles, Edozie, Santos. Hopefully they'll come back a little bit stronger. But looking at what they look like now, actually, you know what? That's not too bad. Probably not enough for the Premiership though, to be fair. Although Samuel Edozie, probably could have used him actually, to be honest. Nathan Wood they've got, 22 years old. Quite a lot of youngsters. One Santos, again another decent looking player on the wings. So looking by ability, Aaron Ramsdale, 26 years old. We could end up with him for the remainder of this rebuild, I think. A decent goalkeeper, I feel. Not bad at all. Stats wise look really nice, so hopefully he'll keep that up as well, depending on who's in front of him. Kyle Walker-Peters, another decent young player. Pretty quick. Physicals look nice. Mentals also. Not many stats under double digits. Got 28-year-old Jan Bednarek. Polish centre-back. Again, very, very good indeed. One of the better players. Hopefully, we'll keep him around for a few good years yet and hopefully increase that value. Maybe somebody from Saudi Arabia might come in for him. We've also got Brereton Diaz as well up front, Chilean. Guess he's not too bad. He's got 14 finishing. Lallana, 36 years old. His stats look absolutely crazy. His mentals. Granted, his physicals don't look great, but to be perfectly honest, as a playmaker, they look nice. For how long he'll last, I don't know. He's got a year on his contract. So yeah, we'll probably end up using him for this season. Kochap, centre-back. Again, very quick. He's got good jump and reach and strength, and he's 6'3" as well. And if we have a quick look at potentials, a couple of the players that we have looked at already. We're going to be rocking the 4-2-3-1, 2 DMs. I'm not a fan of the 1 DM and 2 midfielders. We can push up if we want. We'll see how we get on, but we need probably better players than what we have got. But we're going to be locking 3 players in, and they are the 3 youngest players with highest potential. Fernandez is the first one. Looks pretty good. Very high potential. Play in midfield or cam position. I want to see how well he does. See if he does flourish. If not, then obviously we'll go elsewhere. Also with Larios at left back. Again, high potential in that position. Great acceleration and pace. Let's see if he can use that. And also Edwards in the central defensive role, one of their highest potential ones as well at the centre-back at only 21 years old. If we pick our best 11, them 3, I'm sure they will come out. They do. It still doesn't look that bad aside. I don't understand how they are doing so badly, but we'll see what happens this season. Lallana pushes into the cam position. And we've also got inside forward on that left, right hand side. Sugawara can actually play at right back and Peters can go left back. So that could be an option for us going forward. But at the minute, our 2 centre backs are doing pretty well. Got quite a good partnership going. However, the results are not our way though, unfortunately. No wins just yet. 2 draws and a loss. That loss coming at home to Spurs. But we did draw 2 away games, so I can't complain too much. We did batter Watford in the Carabao Cup second round, so that's good. But we have got Brighton in the next one where we drew 0-0. But we are at home this time around. We're currently lying in 15th position. I'm hoping we'll survive. Predictions for this season. Let's have a quick look. Okay, we're expected to go straight down. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes with Ipswich and Forest. So let's jump into our first season. Survival is the name of the game this first season. Well, there's a shock to the system. Southampton finished in 10th position. That is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. -4 goal difference. We scored 50 plus. We conceded 50 plus. 46 points. It could be better. We did lose 3 in the last final 5 games. I don't think it would have made much difference if we did win them. But I'm quite pleased with that. We're some way off relegation as well. A good 15 points away from there. So I'm really happy with that. We're just behind Chelsea. Brighton finished in 7th position. Villa in 5th. Arsenal win the league by 7 points. But Forest and Leicester go back down with West Ham following them as well. But we've done really well. And unsurprisingly, we've got nobody really in the top 3s apart from the yellow cards. We did get to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup though, losing to Newcastle. Wow, 5-3. We were 2-1. We were 2-0 from the first leg. We were leading. My word. United beat Arsenal by the same score. And wow, they were 2-0 down as well. So Newcastle United in the final. Just see who won that. Newcastle win it. But the quarterfinals, we beat Chelsea on penalties. 4th round, Hull 3-2. 3rd, we did beat Brighton 3-1 in the end. Nice. Good showing in the Carabao Cup, but the FA Cup, we got battered by Everton 3-1 away from home. So, yeah, disappointing with that. 3rd round, we did beat Sheffield United. The winner, Arsenal 4-1. League and Cup double. So overall, not a bad showing this season. I think more importantly, we did survive. So that was the main task. Anything else would have been a bonus. Squad wise, let's have a look at the people we locked in. Not really much of an improvement, I don't think, apart from Fernandez there. 9 and 4. I like to keep him in that position, actually, to be honest. I think he's improved probably the most, maybe. 9 assists though for Larios on that left back position, so maybe he can get better. So maybe we keep him in that position as well. But Edwards at the back, probably play it as a backup role though, to be fair. Goals overall, 16 for Armstrong in 35 games or starts, 14 for Archer in 41 starts. That's disappointing. I expected a little bit more. Diaz 11. So our front three really have done pretty well, at least double digits, which is good to see. And assist wise, there's only Armstrong with the assist. So did he actually play out on the wing, I wonder? But he is 28 years old, so I mean he's done reasonably well though, and he's our only player that reached 7 rating and above. But we have got a very overinflated squad, so that has to be trimmed down a bit this season. And finances for next, wow, 60 million. That's pretty good. So with an overinflated squad, we had to offload quite a few players, and to be perfectly honest, not many went for actual money. We did manage to raise an additional 14 million through Charlie Taylor, Aribo, Bray, Fraser, and Nuachu, Stewart and McCarthy. I think some actually went on free as well. Their contracts ran out. Like Lallana, Reeves, Wright, McNamara, Hewitt, Lett, some of these youngsters as well too, but mainly Lallana. I think he's 37 years old. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy. So if we have a look at the players we brought in, the first signing is Perfunde from Udinese, £10 million. I mean, cheap as chips. I mean, he is going to turn into one hell of a beast. He's now worth 57 million. They will be hurting themselves now that they've let him go so cheaply. But he's looking superb now, and £10 million, like I say, an absolute steal. Next up is Christos Zeferis from Slavia Prague for 7.5 million. Midfielder, again, quite cheap. We couldn't really get any big stars out there, so we are having to go young. But 22 years old, probably here for the duration. Whether he'll improve, hopefully he does. If he does, then we probably just need to get backup players for him. Next up is Martin Vitic from Sparta Prague, £8.75 million. Again, another youngster, 22 years old at the back. I've used him before in certain rebuilds. He hasn't progressed in recent ones, but hopefully he will do here, so he will get the game time. And finally, our big signing from Leeds, Wilfred Gnonto, £77 million. 21-year-old striker. He can play on the right wing as well. But wow, I think between himself and Archer, they will be our forwards for the remainder of this rebuild. That's for sure. We just need to rebuild on every other position to get to where we need to be in this rebuild. But yeah, I'm very pleased to snatch this one, although it did cost an arm and a leg. So as you can see, overall £103 million spent. We are going to be locking a few players in, like Edozie, Perfundi and Sugawara, because I want Archer and Gnonto fighting it out up top. We've got Larios at left back because he's got acres of potential, and Vitic as well. As long as they all play, then they should improve no end. If we pick our best 11, Sugawara drops to right back, Gnonto goes to right wing, Archer up front, Walker Peter goes over to the left hand side. We lose Vitic in defence, but we do keep Perfundi and Edozie, and also we lose Zafaris as well in the middle. So yeah, they're the reasons really we need to lock them in. And I don't think I could have had a better start than that to our second season. We beat Spurs 3-2, then we beat Leeds 3-1, Bournemouth 4-0, we smashed Portsmouth, but we do draw to Wolves. Despite being 2-0 up going into the 87th minute, and to concede 2 late goals, I'm bitterly disappointed. And we have drawn QPR in the next round of the Carabao Cup. We're currently lying in 3rd position, 2 points off Man City at the top, and level on points with Manchester United. Well, there's a shocker. So let's move into our second season. Let's see how we get on and see if we can maintain this pace at the top. It's another good season. We finish in the top half and we finish in a European place as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff. 58 points, a big improvement last season. Although we didn't win in the last 5 games, 4 draws and a loss. That could have been huge for us. We could have got Europa League football if we turned some of them draws into wins. But 10 draws overall, but 12 losses. Not too bad. Just one battering by Arsenal there, 4-0. That is about it. Manchester United we lost to twice. Villa we did lose to as well. Did we lose to Villa twice actually? We lost 4-1. No, just that 4-1. I'm really impressed with that. 68 goals scored, which is a massive improvement, and only 45 conceded, which is less than Villa and the same as Spurs. So we're not doing too bad with the top guns up there, but yeah, I'm disappointed by the final 5 games, that's for sure. The FA Cup, we get knocked out by Brighton in the 3rd round, 3-1 away from home. Bitterly disappointed there. The final being won by Arsenal. And the Carabao Cup, we reached the semi-finals yet again. I'm sure we reached this stage last season, losing to Liverpool on penalties this time after taking a 2-1 lead into the second leg. Losing the second one and then losing on penalties. That's a shame. It really is. Liverpool going to win it in the end. The quarterfinals, we knocked out Brighton. 4th round, we beat Forest. And we beat QPR 3-0 in the 3rd round. So, again, not too bad journey to the semi-finals. Just need to jump over that hurdle. How did our players do that we locked in? Vitic looks okay. 4 goals and an assist. Larios, 4 assists this time. We may have to look elsewhere for a left back maybe. Sugawara 4 and 8. Okay. Pafunde 10 and 16. That's what I'm talking about. He's looking good already. Well worth his money. £10 million did I say we paid for him? Wow. And at 20 years old. Edozie as well. 22 and 10. That is phenomenal stuff. In fact, he's our leading goal scorer. Gnonto 19 and 4. Diaz 8 and 2. How did Archer? He only played 5 games. In fact, Diaz played 4 of 35 for the bench. It should be the other way around. Ramsdale 52 conceded. So going into next season, we've got £58 million to spend and improve. I think we're going to have to go midfield, that's for sure. So we decided to raise a bit more cash as some more players go out the door. Diaz has gone to Brighton, one of our rivals actually. A little bit disappointed. However, £35 million won't go amiss. Armstrong has also gone the right winger. He's gone to Leeds for up to 7. We also lose Manning, Wood and a couple of others on a free, and then a couple of other youngsters going out on loan. Like I say, £37 million in. Let's add that to our budget and see who we bring in. And first up is Archie Gray from Spurs. £30 million. Not bad for a 20-year-old. He is described as a wonder kid, so £30 million is quite cheap to sit in the DM position as a DLP, but again, he can grow, and he is growing currently, and yeah, I'm quite excited. Quite a lot of potential still. Next up is Bartol Franjic from Wolfsburg. £16 million, a ball-winning midfielder. So we've just swapped up our 2 DMs, so these 2 will be coming in, Archie Gray and Franjic. We'll see how they do. His mentals look really, really nice. Again, only 26 years old and quite cheap at 16 million. Next up from Salzburg is Guindo, a left back. Felt like Larios is quite good, but he's not developing as quick, so he's going to battle it out with Guindo, see how they do. Guindo's only 23 years old as well, reasonably quick, so we can definitely put Larios to the test. And finally, we bring in from Girona Asprilla, a right winger to sort of replace Armstrong as a backup. 22 years old, reasonably quick. Not bad stats and not many under 10. So overall 70 million has been spent. Looking at our side, we have locked in 2 players, Vitic and Guindo, because if we pick our best 11, Guindo moves into the centre back and Larios comes in on left back, although he is still pretty good and still lots of potential and reasonably quick actually. He's probably better than Guindo, but I want to give Guindo a chance. Larios has had 2 seasons now. We'll give Guindo a go, and then they can battle it out between them unless we get somebody better. But Walker Peters, Bednarek, we will need another central defender. Gray, Franjic, like I say, we wanted in there. Sugawara, Pafunde, Edozie and Gronto. We have got Archer, as now we have lost Diaz. So Archer should naturally come in to replace him if he gets injured. And once again, we've had an unbeaten start to the season. Just 1 draw, really upsetting the odds there. We beat Wolves 4-0, drew with Ipswich, which was a bizarre result, despite taking a 2-0 lead in that one. So yeah, we have a habit of throwing 2-0 leads away. Brighton, we did beat 1-0. And in the Europa Conference League, in the qualifiers, we beat UTA Arad 1-0 and 3-0. So in the Conference League, we have now got Lask, Lech, Dinamo Minsk, Kukariki, Braga and FC Inter. Who are they? From Finland. So we are currently 5th in the table in the top half once again. We are predicted 8th in the Europa Conference League. I think we can go a little bit better than that. I think Sevilla may give us a stern test. Midtjylland, possibly Hearts. I think that's about it. I mean, Hibs are in there as well. Braga, Lens, Bologna. I do think we should qualify quite easily and maybe go all the way. And we've drawn Port Vale in the next round of the Carabao Cup. So let's go into our 3rd season and see if we can get any closer to a Carabao Cup final. 2 semi-finals in the last 2 seasons. Let's see if we can go all the way this time and see if we can go a bit further in the other competitions as well. 3rd season has ended and we do drop a couple of places. At 9th position, we're still in the top 10, 56 points. Just missed out on 8th, but we are in Europe still, so which is a pretty good thing and one of the main challenges for this rebuild, at least anyway. But yeah, I'd rather finish a little bit higher up, but 10 losses this time round, which isn't too bad at all. 14 wins though, it's not a lot, but an awful lot of draws. And it's Man City that run away with it. A good 7 points clear of Arsenal, Brighton, Manchester United are up there. We do finish ahead of everybody else that's not in the top 8. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that actually, considering we're still in Europe as well. And Archer, he gets the game time he probably deserves now, with Gononto as well being in the mix. But 18 goals this season for the striker, which is pretty good. But he's the only one that's made any dent into the top 3 for anything. The FA Cup, we get beaten by Arsenal at the semi-final stage. Everton get through to the final as well actually, and it's Arsenal that do beat Everton. But the quarterfinals, we beat Brighton on penalties. 5th round, we edge past Manchester United after extra time. The 4th round, we smash Swansea. And the 3rd round, we beat Mansfield 2-0. The Carabao Cup, however, we get knocked out in the 4th round even. I can't get my words out. Man City 2-1. And that is after smashing Port Vale 7-0 in the 3rd. The winners of the competition, Chelsea 3-0 over Spurs. But we do get all the way to the final of the Conference League and we smash Ghent, I think it is, 6-1 in the final. Archer getting us on the score sheet first, and yeah, it's all going from good to better in this game as well. 6-1 though in a final. I mean, I don't know if that's ever been, well, that high a score in a final before, but we do lead Southampton to their first ever, correct me if I'm wrong, European trophy, which is absolutely phenomenal stuff. I've even lost count of the score now. I'm not sure where we are. I think we're another 2 goals. Is this 5-0 at this stage? Archer again netting the ball into the back of the net. Again, do get themselves back into the game. Ooh, left on his own there, Fadiga. But I think it's we do have the final say in the 90th minute though. Gononto with the cross, headed in by Asprilla. Archer, again, one of the leading goal scorers. Profunde, most assists. Ramsdale, most clean sheets. And Walker-Peters, most player of the match awards for ourselves. We've done pretty well in this competition. The semi-finals, we did beat Braga 3-0. Quarters, we beat Augsburg 2-1. Only just, though. Round of 16, 8-0 over Lask. Wow, we didn't qualify for the playoff round, which means we qualified in the top 8, or even better, top of the group. 6 out of 6. Smashing FC Inter, Braga, Kukariki, Dinamo Minsk, Lech and Lask as well. Wow, what a performance from this Southampton side. And that is hopefully the first of many trophies, because we have come close now with 2 semi-finals appearances in the Carabao, a semi-final appearance in the FA Cup, and now winning the Europa Conference League, which means we are in the Europa League next season. Our squad had the guys that we locked in. Vitic, he did score 4 goals. Same with Guindo, who only got 1 assist, but is looking extremely good as well. So both of them playing a lot of game time there. But if we go by goals, 36 goals for Archer. Profunde, 26 and 17. 43 goal contributions. What a player. worth only 82 million though. I was hoping that'd be a little bit more though. Gnonto, he still gets the game time, 19 and 14. Edozie, he still played as well, 13 and 16. Sugawara, 12 and 14. Espirilla, 5 and 3. 13 assists for Kyle Walker-Peters as well. And our goalkeeper, Ramsdale, 65 conceded and 58, sorry. That's not bad. 22 clean sheets though. And Bazunu, he did get some game time, or 2 games, with 6 conceded. But other than that, I think our guys have done pretty well. But there's still room for improvement, especially in our midfield, which comprised of, I'm hoping it was Francic. He played 46, 3 assists. Larios, did he play some games? He did. 51 off the bench with 3 assists. Zafaris, he got 11 off the bench. Archie Gray, 4 and 4, which he's looking at probably pretty good now as well, worth up to £84 million. Right, I know we can improve a little bit more. I do think we need another partner for Archie Gray though, or maybe Archie Gray can play in that position on his own and then we push everybody up. That would be some formation. But transfers for next season, another £57 million, which is going to help, but probably bring in 1 or 2 more players to improve a little bit more. But I do feel we are starting to go through the gears now in this rebuild. So let's go on and spend this cash. Okay, not that many players going out for money. We only raised an additional £4.6 million. We had an awful lot of contracts to renew as well. So that put a dent in the wages budget. But there were players I wanted to keep, to be perfectly honest. And I think we've created quite a good side. We just needed to improve just a couple of spaces or bring in a little bit more depth. But out the door goes Kochap. He wasn't getting much game time. He's gone to Nice for 1.2. Wellington, our left back. Again, not much game time. We've already got Guindo and we've also got Larios as well. But he goes to Montpellier for 1.2. We also lose Max Fry and a couple of other youngsters. Smallbone has gone to Fulham. He's gone out on loan, and the same with Santos as well. So coming through the doors, we've got Nathan Zizi from Nantes for, I think it was £26 million actually. A centre-back. Again, we're struggling to get decent centre-backs in. But however, at 6'3", with good jumping reach and good heading as well, I think he'll help us quite a bit. He can also pass the ball. So as a ball-playing defender, he'll do the right thing as well. Good positioning, vision and work rate. Can't really ask for much more than that. We also bring in from Zenit for 9.5. Pedro, a right winger. We have got Gnonto on the right hand side, currently playing there, I think. And Archer up front. So I really want them to concentrate on the striker position. Pedro comes in as a 21-year-old. Oodles of potential. 3-star already. Looks pretty decent. Not bad pace and acceleration actually. In fact, apart from jumping and heading, which I'm not too concerned with, but he's only 5'9" anyway, but I'd rather him be quick and be able to cross the ball and do other types of winger stuff as well. And finally, we bring in from Inter, Valentin Carboni, attacking midfielder, a backup to Profundi really. He's probably going to challenge him. I realise we haven't really got a good backup, and I think at 22 years old, he can certainly do that and give Profundi a run for his money. But Profundi is playing absolutely superb at the minute, so I think now we've got 2 world-class young players in that position. So at the moment, we've just locked in Pedro, but if we do pick our best 11, it comes up like this. Gnonto on the right-hand side, I really want him to concentrate up front so he can really switch up top like that if need be. Profundi, Edozie, Gray, Francic. I'm still struggling to find a decent midfielder, but hopefully Francic can do the job again. Guindo, Zizi, Bednarek and Walker-Peters with Ramsdale in goal. No room for Vitic. He's not really progressing as quick as I would have liked. So again, another young player with bags of potential, not doing it really. So far, so good. We have started the campaign against Ipswich with a 3-2 victory. We did draw with Liverpool, beat Fulham. We did lose to Spurs at home, despite taking a 1-goal lead. So yeah, very disappointed with that. Gakpo's actually playing for Spurs now. Wow. And we've just beaten Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup 3rd round. The Europa League, we've been drawn against Genk, Liberec, Young Boys, Copenhagen, Lech, Utrecht, Frankfurt and Feyenoord. We're currently lying in 5th position as we were last season. We're 5 points off the leaders Man City, who are 4 for 4. Man United also unbeaten. Same with Crystal Palace, they're unbeaten too, but they have drawn 3 games and they are behind us. We are predicted 19th in the Europa League, but we have got to play teams like Roma, Juventus, even Chelsea are in there, Rangers. This would be a hard competition to win, it has to be said. So let's jump into our 4th season and let's see if we can come any closer to bringing any more silverware to that of the European Cup last season. And we have made it into the Champions League, a top 4 finish, which is absolutely remarkable. 69 points. We steal it from Brighton. 5 wins on the bounce, the last 5 games. West Ham, Brighton included, Burnley, Villa and Chelsea with a 3-0 win over them. Wow. Chelsea finished down in 10th position. Look at Liverpool, 11th. Everton right behind them. Goodness me, Bournemouth go down with Norwich and Fulham. Man City win the league. We're not that far off, 20 points. Yeah, some way off, but we always finished in 3rd position as well. Arsenal nearly throwing it away towards the end with the losses against Palace and Spurs. We do finish above Spurs though. Did score 68 goals, but did concede 43, which is quite a lot. But when you think about the teams around us, it's not that much really, to be honest. But it's the 2 Manchester clubs finishing top. Ramsdale gets 16 clean sheets and Franjic gets 12 yellow cards. Okay. That's about it, nothing more, but you can see that final game win there, 3-0 against Chelsea, wonderful. The Carabao Cup, we get knocked out by Tottenham at the quarter-final stage, 2-1 unfortunately. The final being won by Manchester United on penalties over Newcastle. We do, however, go on to win the FA Cup over Everton with a 1-0 victory with Pedro scoring the all-important goal after 10 minutes. Wonderful stuff. Of which Pedro becomes the leading goal scorer in the competition. The semi-finals, we beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Everton put out Man City. Wow. Quarters, we beat West Ham 1-0. 5th round, penalties over Newcastle. 4th round, 3-0, easy victory over Norwich. And the 3rd round, a 3-0 win over Millwall. Confirmation of the FA Cup. We've got another domestic trophy and a 4th place finish. However, the Europa League, Spurs do it to us once again. 6-4 over the 2 legs. We were 3-2 up in that game as well. And yeah, 4-1 second leg victory for Spurs. Disappointed, really am. But we did get all the way to the semis though. The final winners being Roma over Spurs. So Spurs didn't even go on to win it. Wow. 2nd in the table behind Spurs and Wolfsburg. 7 wins. All close. Lech we beat 5-1. A couple of 4-0s in. 3-0s quite convincing. But Utrecht and Frankfurt we did just scrape through, and we drew against Feyenoord. And it was Spurs drawn against Rangers, and they had a good couple of wins in there, including a 7-1 victory in there as well. So we didn't do too bad in the league phase. Straight to the round of 16, we played Lyon and we beat them 6-3. And the quarterfinals, we beat Reims 4-0 over the 2 legs. Overall, not a bad campaign this season. A 4th place finish, like I say, and an FA Cup trophy as well. We can't ask for more than that. Well, we could. It would have been nice, but I'll settle for this. Squad-wise, let's have a quick look then. 23 goals for Archer, 20 for Nonto with 13 assists. Perfunde 16 and 16. Edozie 13 and 8. Archie Gray 9 and 9. Not a bad season for him with a quite a good average rating overall. 9 and 15 for Pedro, 15 assists, wonderful. In fact, it's only Perfundi with more assists, with Nonto with 13 as well. 58 goals conceded in 59 from Ramsdale, of which he's going to finish off this rebuild still in goal, which is fantastic. And their other goalkeeper, Bazunu, 7 conceded in 3. But going on to next season, we have been given £60 million to spend to improve the side a little bit more, to try and go or contend for that title in the last season. And plus we are in the Champions League. And so for the final time, the transfers out. Downs has gone to Fiorentina for £20 million. Bednarek has also gone. He's gone to Benfica for up to 15. We also lose Charles to Wolves for 8.75. Edwards has also gone to Bournemouth. And at Smallbone also, he's gone to Sheffield United, all for a little bit of money, so I'm quite pleased with that. And Santos has finally gone to FOR for 575,000. Not a lot, but somewhat wages released in our budgets, at least anyway. A couple on loan and one on free. So 48 million additional monies coming in, which enabled us to bring in the following players. First up is David Ozo from Crystal Palace, £35 million. Physicals look absolutely amazing. Defensive midfielder, again, nice to have another backup or player that can come in and do the job for us. He can get forward wherever possible, but them physicals, I mean, that is scary if you come up against him, it has to be said. Next up is Alex Perez from Real Hispalis. £21 million. Determination, wow, stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? Good jumping reach, you can head the ball as well. Mentals look really nice. Physicals also a centre-back. If you come up against him, you're coming up against a brick wall, I feel. 22 years old as well, plenty of room for improvement there. Next up from Liverpool, £15.5 million is Stefan Bajcetic. Again, another defensive midfielder, another backup really. Nice to have these youngsters coming through the ranks so they can just come in, step up to the plate and just take over whenever our first teamers are injured. It's just nice to have that little bit of depth. And finally, we bring in Wesley on a free transfer, 23 years old, a winger, can play either side. Again, another backup, really good. Pace and acceleration is not bad. Agility and natural fitness is pretty good. 23 years old. I mean, again, not many stats under double digits. Ones that matter at least anyway. So £72 million spent. We're not locking anybody in. It's a free-for-all. Everybody's going to jump in and fight for the place. But if we do pick our best 11, we have Archer up top, Profundi, Edozie, Pedro, Gray and Francic. We've also got Zizi and Perez. So new back line again. Walker-Peters still playing, Guindo and Ramsdale in goal. A very, very solid side. So far, so good, I would like to say. Friendlies went without a hitch, conceding a couple of goals. But we did lose the Community Shield against Man City. Losing out on penalties after Haaland gave them the lead. Archie Gray scoring the equaliser. And it was Archer and Gray that actually missed the all-important penalties as well. So disappointed to miss out on that. Then we started the campaign against Newcastle with a thrashing 3-1 loss. Isaac and Miley scoring both goals after we had taken the lead as well. Then we just came up against Liverpool, Manchester United and Tottenham, beating them convincingly without conceding a goal. Weird, but I'll take it. And then we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup after beating Forest on penalties after a 2-2 draw. The Champions League, we have been drawn against Monaco, Red Star Belgrade. We've got Atalanta, Manchester City, Midtjylland, Hapoel Beersheva, Dortmund and Real Madrid. That's going to be difficult, I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping that we can get a couple of wins out of there, at least 3 maybe, possibly 4 before we hit the bigger teams. We're currently lying 3rd in the table, which is absolutely amazing. That's the highest we've been, I think. Hopefully we can stay there or at least remain in the top 4. And we're predicted 21st in the Champions League group. I'll take that at this stage. So let's jump into our final season. Let's see if we can add to our 2 trophies of the Europa Conference, the FA Cup, and see if we can bring home another trophy, which will be brilliant because we're fighting on 4 fronts this season. It's been a while since we've had a fairy tale ending in a rebuild, but we do have it here. Southampton, champions of England. We finished in first position, amazingly, a point ahead of Arsenal and Newcastle, who are both on 82 points. Chelsea behind them with the 2 Manchester clubs, with United finishing above City, which is weird. Liverpool also finishing in 7th position. Incredible. Spurs finish all the way down in 16th position, 43 points, 20 points ahead of relegation, though, to be fair. But it's only Burnley that were battling it out with Sunderland, Leicester and Middlesbrough, with the latter 3 going down. And amazingly, to help us to get to the title, we didn't have a top goal scorer or a best player or a best assister or a best player of the match, but we did have Ramsdale, who is joint 2nd Golden Glove behind Raya, quite considerably behind Raya actually. That's incredible. Wow. But Francic does get 11 yellow cards, so we do get 2nd in some sorts. But yeah, that's quite amazing. But look at the final game of the season, 2-0 against Man City. And to go with that Premiership title, we also win the Carabao Cup, a league and cup double. Domestic double, finally, with a mistake at the back, with Archer latching onto the mistake. What a finish, which proves to be quite a dominant display. Despite only having 42% of the possession, we did have 13 shots to Arsenal's 2. So I think we definitely deserved the win here. The FA Cup, we bow out at the semi-final stage. We lost to Bristol City on penalties as well, with Chelsea going through to the final and Chelsea, of course, winning it. Bristol City almost coming clutch there, but wow, well done to them. But along the way, we did beat Manchester United 2-0 in the quarter-finals. The 5th round, we beat Chesterfield 4-0, quite an easy win there. 3-0 against Stoke. And the 3rd round sees us beat Preston 4-1. The Champions League, we got all the way as far as the quarter-finals. That's pretty good. And only losing 1-0. And that was a second leg victory for Man City as well. That is a shame. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Inter all go through as well. Would have been quite hard in the semi-finals. Man City losing to Bayern Munich in the end 4-2, so we probably would have gone on to play Bayern Munich, but it's Bayern and Real Madrid in the final, with Real Madrid not taking it. Bayern Munich did on penalties. But the league phase, we did finish in 7th position, so we qualified in the top 8 with 5 victories. Dortmund, quite convincingly actually, Hapoel Beersheva, Man City, Red Star Belgrade and Monaco. Quite convincing victories there. We did draw with Midtjylland, and we did lose to Real and Atalanta. So with the round of 16, we played Benfica. We thrashed them 3-0 thanks to a second leg victory. And that's where it ended for us at the quarter-finals. So not a bad showing in Europe. So the cup competitions, we did reasonably well. Runners-up in the Community Shield, semi-final in the FA Cup, quarter-finals in the Champions League. Can you imagine if that all came in? What a season our lads have had. And speaking of our lads, let's have a look at the goals. 22 and 5 for Archer. 26 starts, 32 off the bench. Nonto, 21 and 6. 14 and 13 per Funde. 13 and 9 for Pedro. Edozie, 11 and 17, which is nice. A lot of other goals from everywhere else, but not assist-wise. We struggled with assists. Only 2 players getting double figures in assists. Pedro almost getting double figures, not quite there. With Ramsdale only conceded 50 goals and 27 clean sheets. That must be a record. It has to be at that amount of clean sheets in a season. Did we clear any debts off? They still got 138 million. They recently acquired from 2025. So yeah, new debts, lovely stuff. Staffing doesn't look too bad at all. The coaching is great, apart from the goalkeepers. Our recruitment team needs still work on there, and same with the medical staff, but so the coaching is okay. We can build from there at least anyway. And just before we go, let's have a quick look. So that is the first Premiership title we have won, which is amazing. The FA Cup, the first time since 1976, so 51 years. Europa League is the first European trophy and the first Carabao we've won as well. 3 new trophies into the cabinet, which is absolutely amazing. But if we have a look at our records, we must have broke a fair few. So highest position is winning the Premiership. Not sure if we got the highest gate receipts, but definitely the receipts there though. 731,000. Not many records being broken though, it has to be said. I'm going through them. 7.31 for Profunde, highest rated player. Most assists by a player in season 17 by Profunde. Ramsdale, it was a record, 27 clean sheets for him. Profunde, 9 player of the match awards. Any sequences? No, nothing there either. Wow, amazing. Biggest wins? Nothing. No, we didn't really break that many though, to be fair. Not even in transfer wise. I don't think we ever got that high, apart from Granto, £77 million in 2024, which I think has been a superb buy for us, and it made Archer look up and think. But that is pretty good going. So to come up trumps with that, with 4 trophies this rebuild, which is really good, all domestically apart from 1 European trophy, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, we couldn't go on to win Europa League or the UCL. Give us another 10 seasons, that would probably happen. If you did enjoy this rebuild, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, which will be one of the better ways to support the channel. And if you want to see some more of these rebuilds, let me know down in the comments who you would like to see next. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.